What's up guys, it's Amelia. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to my channel. So I hope everyone had an amazing Christmas. Christmas is over, it's very sad. But the Christmas decorating does not have to be over. I like to leave my decorations up for a little bit after Christmas. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these really cute little snow globe-esque crocheted Christmas ornaments, not necessarily for a tree. You could just hang them up in a window or something, but I think they look really cute, and they're also more of a winter scene necessarily than a Christmas scene. So if you're just doing winter decor, you could totally use these, but we're gonna put these in my Christmas decor because we're leaving it up. Also, as you can tell, I'm not at my house. I'm at my grandparents' house for Christmas, so I got a nice little dresser background here, some gold accents. So since I'm not at my apartment, I don't have all of my yarn, but I packed myself a little craft bag, very festive, of yarn and things that I might need. And I found this image that I'm basing these off of from lovecrafts.com from Pinterest. I think they're selling them for $4, which is like not a lot. So I don't know, I don't really understand, because all you're gonna need for this tutorial is a crochet hook, a yarn needle, and then yarn of your choice. Okay, let's get right into the tutorial. And also, if you've never crocheted before, do not worry, I will show you how to do everything step by step so that you will learn all the stitches. The first thing you're going to need to learn is a slip knot. You just take the end of your yarn and you wrap it around 2 fingers and then push the loop up in between the yarn in between your fingers. But don't let the tail go through. So then you grab onto the loop and you grab onto the tail and you pull it tight. And then you can adjust the size of the loop by pulling on the shorter tail. So I'm going to start off with this navy blue for the background, kind of the sky of this winter scene. After you put your hook through your slip knot, you're going to do something called a chain. And a chain is where you yarn over and then go back through the loop on your hook, and that is 1 chain. We're going to do 2 of those, and now we're going to do something called a single crochet. So a single crochet is where you go through a stitch or a chain, yarn over, pull back through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, then you yarn over again and you go through both of those loops, and that's 1 single crochet. So we're going to do 6 of those into the first chain that we did. For the next row, we're going to do 2 single crochets in each of the 6 stitches we just did to make our total stitches 12 instead of 6. Also guys, I got a tripod for Christmas. I'm really excited because my usual setup is like this little mini tripod that I had from a Zoom recorder balanced on top of like a decorative wooden crate that is being held down by one of my 5-pound weights that I use to work out. So, you know, we really upgraded for the new year. So my parents got me a tripod and I'm really excited. So I will put which one I have in my description. After your second row, your piece is gonna look like this. What I like to do is put a little marker in, and you can use like a safety pin or something, but I like to just use the tail of my piece and I just put it through the first stitch of a row. So now every time I go around, I will know where to stop my row. For the third row, you're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochets in the second stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around until you turn your 12 stitches into 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For the fourth row, we're going to do a similar thing. For another increase row, we're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch and the second stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the third stitch. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around until our 18 stitches turn into 24. So basically you're just going up by times tables of 6. So if you're trying to review some times tables, just start off with whatever number you want and then start doing this pattern and you will learn them again. I was talking about this with some friends the other day. Does anybody have a favorite times table? Apparently when my older sister and I were younger, 7 was our favorite times table. So yeah, what's your favorite times table? Drop it in the comments. I want to know. Apparently 7 is very popular. So let me know if you have a differing opinion. I think 5 was a close runner-up for me. I was just a really big fan of the odd numbers. but it's something that I would be very interested in knowing, so let me know. For the next row, single crochet in the first 3 stitches and then 2 single crochets in the 4th stitch, repeating that around until your 24 stitches become 30. So this is as big as I want mine. You could keep doing increased rows by adding a single crochet if you want it bigger, but I'm just going to stop right here. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch. So a slip stitch is just where you go through a stitch and you yarn over, and then you just slip that yarn over through the other loop on your hook, and then cut your yarn and pull it out, and this piece is finished. So I'm making one with a little snow covered tree on it, so I'm going to make some tree pieces with some green yarn. Start with your little slip knot as you always do. So you're going to start off with 6 chains, and then we're actually going to skip the last chain that we did, and we're going to stitch back across 5 half double crochets. So a half double crochet is a new stitch. So all you do is you yarn over before you go through your stitch, where you yarn over again. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and then go through all 3 of them. So we're going to do 5 of those across our chains. So when you're done with that first row, your piece should look like this, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn your piece. And now we're just going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch across, so that's going to be 5 half double crochets. So we did a half double crochet in the first stitch, we didn't skip one this time, and then 1 in the second stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the slip stitch from last time. Chain 1 and turn, and now I'm just going to do 1 half double crochet, skipping the first stitch into the second stitch. So just chain 1 and cut your yarn. So this is what it's going to look like, and it's going to fit on your little circle. So now I'm going to get my white yarn, and I'm going to stitch a border. Start in a random stitch with my slip knot, and you're going to do a little slip stitch to secure it at the beginning, and then I'm just going to do single crochets all the way around, nice and tight, just to be a nice little border. So when you get to the beginning, we're going to make like a little loop so that we could hang this up if you wanted to. So all I'm going to do is chain 6, and then I'm going to come back down, and I'm going to slip stitch into the stitch beneath, and then tie off your yarn and weave in all of your ends. The one in the picture has a little bit of snow at the bottom, so I'm going to stitch a white piece for a little bit of snow. So you start with a slip knot on your hook, just like we always have, and I'm going to chain across 8. So then I'm going to stitch back across with single crochets, skipping the last chain that I did, so it's only going to be 7 single crochet stitches back across. Then I'm going to chain 1 and turn and stitch back across 7 single crochets again. So now the piece looks like this, and honestly, is this just giving anyone Bumble vibes from Rudolph? What is this color combination? Should I make Bumble? I feel like I should make Bumble because I love the old claymations, and Bumble is pretty adorable, even though he's supposed to be scary. He's not. But okay, so we're going to be stitching on this white snow piece by just going through the blue piece, coming back up, going through the white piece, you know the drill, just stitching it back on and creating our little snowdrift. So for the snow caps on the tree, start off with some white yarn in a slip knot, and then I'm going to slip stitch it to my tree piece just on the right side. Stitch across with single crochets, just going through the tree and doing a single crochet. And I'm not sure exactly how many stitches this is going to take, probably 5 or 6. Just stitching across to make the little snow caps, and then you're going to chain 1, and it should look like this, so it's kind of raised off. So now I'm going to tie off this yarn, and I'm going to do 1 more of these up here. And I'm going to put my tree here with my green yarn left over from the tree, just start stitching it on. So now that your pieces are sewn together, it's going to look like this. So now we have 2 steps left. 1 to add some decorations to the tree if you want, and 2 is going to be to add little snowflakes falling down around the tree. The only decoration I'm going to do is a little star, so I'm going to go in with my yellow yarn, going to do overlapping stitches to create a little star, and it will look like this when you're done. So now go ahead and put white yarn onto your needle. So for the second ornament, you're gonna start with a base exactly like the one from the first ornament. So just follow the pattern to make the base, but it's exactly the same as we did for the first ornament. So for this one, I'm going to do a little snowman. So you're gonna start with a slip knot on your hook with your white yarn, and you're going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do 6 single crochets into the first chain that you did. Then you're gonna go back around for the second row, and you're gonna do 2 single crochet stitches in each stitch that you did around, changing your 6 stitches into 12. And when you're done, your piece will look like this, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch and tie this piece off. So for the head of our snowman, you're going to just do 2 chains with the white yarn, and then I'm going to do 6 half double crochets into the first chain that I did. And when you're done, your piece will look like this. So then I'm just going to slip stitch into the first stitch that I did, and that is going to be the little head for our snowman. Okay, so the last piece that I'm going to crochet for the little snowman is going to be his scarf, and I chose red, but you could choose any color that you want. So I'm going to chain 5, and then I'm going to skip the last chain that I did, and I'm going to single crochet back across 4 stitches. So this is going to be the part of his scarf that hangs down on the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain 3. Now I'm going to skip the last chain that I did, and I'm going to stitch back across. So you'll have 2 single crochets. And then the part where the 2 pieces kind of meet, you can do 1 more single crochet, and then chain 1 and tie off your yarn. So now we're just going to assemble all of these pieces onto our little base piece by sewing in the excess strings and then using the longer ones to stitch it down. So now the last thing to do is the embroidery parts of 2 little black eyes, and then I'm going to do 2 little black buttons, brown stick arms, and then his orange carrot nose. Okay, so now the ornaments are finished, and they are so cute. I really love how they turned out. I wasn't sure how they were going to turn out. I never know when I make my tutorials if they're going to be cute or not. These ones are cute, but I did want to say I just realized that earlier I said that they were selling these for $4, and obviously they're not. They're selling the pattern for $4. So obviously the pattern for the originals is going to be probably better than my tutorial of just looking at the pictures. So I'm not trying to steal their tutorial or anything, and there are 2 more ornaments that I didn't even make, so go buy their $4 tutorial if you're interested in getting more specifics. Also, they added like the little base for the snow globe look, and I just made these circles. I hope you get a chance to make some little crocheted fun things this time of year. Winter is so cozy to craft and crochet, and I mean, I do it all year round, but something about winter and crocheting is just a little cozy. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial of me making these cute little ornaments. I really love them, and I think I'm gonna make the other 2 in the set just because it's fun to have a little set of ornaments, and my mom saw them and said she wanted them. So these are from my mom, but I hope you enjoyed watching the video and the little tutorial, and I hope you get a chance to make them. And remember, drop in the comments your favorite times table, and also if you like the video, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday for another video. Bye guys.